Man, all my friends before I came to London were all telling me how cold it was going to be. And you know what? It's been pretty mild so far. Look at me, I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt. You know what, man? I love London.
So today at Point Blank there's going to be an International Women's Day workshop event. It's all about getting women into the music industry and teaching them all about music. So let's go take a look. Such a good dog though. Such a good doggy. Alright, I'm here with Carly and she's organised the day today here at Point Blank. So, tell us more about this day.
So today is a free day of workshops for women in music or who just love music and are interested in learning more about DJing or music production. Yeah, so it's a full free day of workshops and it's to celebrate International Women's Day next week.
How do you reckon it's going today?
Really good. Yeah, we've got a full house. You know, we've got a few little babies here, which I think is so nice.
Yeah, cute. Getting them young, you know.
Babies,
get them all there. Get them all there young.
Yeah. We've got Ableton, Logic, DJ, modular, hardware, and vocal recording workshops.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, it should be a good day.
I think it's great because the music industry is a little bit of like a boys' club at times.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, male privilege, I guess.
But yeah, we want to change that.
Yeah. I've been to a lot of those conferences, you know, like IMS and stuff like that, and they always have a really strong women's panel.
I think, yeah, we just have to like keep doing what we're doing. I think we really have to make the effort to change, and so events like this are amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, we live in a digital age now. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're your own boss. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. But anyways, thanks for talking to us.
Party.
Party on. We're gonna get pizza now. Oh, here they come.
Domino's.
Here it comes. We got pizza. Woo!
Yum.
Alright, so today is the final part of our sound engineering assignment. We've got a vocalist in today and he's come in to sing Wonderwall for us. Doesn't really do this kind of music, so let's see how it turns out.
Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my Wonderwall. Yeah?
Yep. Good. Yep, cool. Alright, so I'm here with Anthony again, and one of these mixing desks looks very, very intimidating, but in reality, they're all just copies of one channel.
Learn one channel, and then you basically know the whole desk. Now, obviously, on this desk, we've got the center section where there's some other stuff going on. We're not going to worry about that today, but we're just going to talk about what is on one typical channel strip on here. These desks, each channel on this desk has 3 inputs on it, okay? And it's split into 2 inputs on one side and then 1 input on the other. So you can choose one of the 2 inputs or you can choose the other one on the other side, right? So if we start at the top, you'll notice it says tape. Now obviously we're not using tape, but lots of desks use this terminology. When you see tape, that means stuff coming back from the DAW. So the output of Logic or Pro Tools or Ableton or whatever. Insert in, if we're using outboard equipment and we're putting on a hardware insert, we need to switch that on to make it work. Then this red knob here, this is the trim for the tape return. So basically your outputs from your DAW coming into the desk, we can turn them up or down using this. This section here, this is the main input section. This is the mic or line section. We can hit this button to switch it to line input. Line input would be anything like anything that's already amplified. So, you know, like the output of a keyboard, or we were using my external preamp today, so we didn't need to plug a mic into the channel. We just needed a line input. This switches the meters here. We've got one tiny little meter and one big one. And when I'm recording, I like to use the big meter so I can really see the level we're getting. So we'd hit that button to switch the meters. Again, insert in is the same as above. That engages the hardware insert.
And that's like compressors, EQs.
Outboard EQs, gates, stuff like that. This is our gain. Okay, so that is the default position there. And when we plug a mic or line input in, if we want to get the level higher up, we turn this clockwise to bring it in. This is probably the same as people watching this on their interfaces that they've got, the mic inputs on their interfaces. 3 really crucial buttons here. The one that says 48V under it, this is phantom power, and we need this to run condenser mics and DI boxes and stuff like that. This is a high pass filter to filter out any low end rumble. This is our phase reverse button, so basically it inverts the phase of the sound. This array of buttons here, these are our bus selectors, and basically if you want to send something to your DAW, you choose which input on the DAW you want with this. So this is on 1, so therefore any sound that comes up on this channel will go to input 1 on the DAW. Now this button LF, this is absolutely crucial on this desk, so that you're going to see a bunch of buttons that will either say LF or SF, and they mean long fader or short fader, because you'll see we've got a long fader at the bottom of the desk, and then just above it we've got a short fader. We've got these 2 input paths, one of which can be switched between 2, mic or line. These are our aux sends, so we use 1 to 6, we generally use these to feed effects like reverb. And A and B here we usually use to do headphone mixes for performers. Again, you'll see SF. There's buttons that say SF, and that basically means if I hit that, the aux send is going to take its signal from the short fader. Pre means it's going to take the signal before the fader, whichever fader it's taking it from. Here's our EQ. Again, look, SF buttons. So if you want the EQ to go on the short fader, this one is for the top section, which is lows and highs. This one is for the bottom section, which is high mids and low mids. So we can actually split the EQ across the 2 faders. The way we generally use this desk, we use the short faders to send stuff down the buses to the DAW. So if you put SF on, any EQ you do here will get recorded. This is the short fader section. So at the moment, we're using this for the mic input. Okay, so you can see that's lit up there. So when we plug a mic in, it's coming up on this fader. We choose where we want to send it in the DAW, and we turn up that fader, and that will start sending it to the DAW. Mix is a button we see in a couple of places. If you want to hear stuff coming out the main stereo bus of the desk, mix needs to be engaged. We've got solo and cut. So these are pretty self-explanatory. Solo means I'll just hear this one on its own. Cut means we turn it off, or cut or mute. Then here we've got the flip button. So basically this is set to tape at the moment. This is how I always work, but if you're a weirdo, I'm saying that knowing some of the other tutors use this. If I hit that, that becomes mic, and this one up here becomes tape. Okay? We've got our pan. Actually, I didn't mention it up here on the short fader. We've got a pan there as well. So, you know, this is our stereo pan. One thing people who have never used an analog desk before sometimes struggle a bit with is that all the channels are mono. So if you want to do something in stereo, you need 2 channels. So obviously you would need to pan left and right. And then we've got our long fader. And in the way I work here, when we record, we use the short faders to send to the DAW. And when we listen back from the DAW, we use the long faders.
Alright, so it's week 8 now, and my assignments are due next week in week 9. So that means it's crunch time. It's time to go in full production mode, starting now. Alright, so this is my intro to production Ableton project. I made a bass house track. Never made bass house before, but you know, I think it sounds okay. I mean, don't be too harsh. I've never done this before. But yeah, here, have a quick listen. It's alright. But anyways, let's just go through the track. Everything is all inbuilt Ableton instruments and also effects. Nothing is third party except samples. Main bass is just a bass line that's been sampled and overdriven, so that's what it sounds like. And I just chucked the sidechain on it. And as you can hear, the overdrive adds so much depth to that sound. We've got our drum rack here. Pretty bog standard. Next up, I've got the snare roll. So what I did here for the snare is I just programmed in a simple MIDI build-up, and then I also automated a frequency shifter on it to increase the pitch as it goes up. Then you just got all your effects here. We don't really need to see that, but they do add a lot of help with the transitions. And then there's a horn sample, which is this guy right here. Pretty straightforward. It's just a bunch of reverb and EQ'd out the lows so it doesn't interfere with the kick and the bass line. And we've got a sample here. But yeah, that's about it to the track. There's really not a lot of elements. It kind of just comes down to how you use your sounds and what sounds that you pick. And that brings us to the end of another Point Blank vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and I hope that little talk on the mixing desk was not too daunting on you guys. I've got 2 more assignments to finish, guys. I've got the music composition and the Wonderwall thing, and I'll show you guys next week when they're actually due. But anyways, as usual, check out the Point Blank website for more details on the school, and also to get some free samples, free plugins, and some info on free online courses there. Alright, DJ Ravine out, and I'll see you guys next week.